Six, 6 feet and 3 inches. Let me check this one. They should be all the same. Huh? Yep. 6 feet 3 inches. So Crypto 559. We're out here at the bridge. The reason why I'm measuring the sections is because Sunday evening around 6, we're out here. Me and Jesus, we're out here around 6:30 in the evening, and we were just observing the area and listening, and we saw something. We both saw it. I'll tell you guys in a little bit. It was. I'll tell you in a little bit what happened, how it went down. Jesus is not here right now with us. I have my cousin here and it's myself. But I'm going to be telling you what we saw and the reason why I'm taking measurements of these sections right here. I want to point out. You see that little island right there in between the river. So that island right there. When we started our channel about 2 years ago, we took some pictures. My cousin took some pictures. We're coming in from that side, on that road, Trimmer Springs Road, and he took 3 consecutive pictures of that island. In one of the pictures, you see images inside that island, like little. It looks like stairs, and then you got like little statues, and then you got like faces and all kinds of stuff that show up in that picture. And then on the other pictures, nothing shows up. So I'm gonna put that in the video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna outline every little thing that we see in there. But there's something with this island, I feel. Okay, guys. So here's the picture of the island. This is back in March of 2018. This next picture right here is with a different filter. Now I want you guys to focus on the shrubs. All these shrubs in here. Look at on top of the shrubbery. It's almost like it looks like it's on fire, but you can start seeing faces in there. I see a lot of faces in there. And all these from the right, you see one on the bottom. It's like a side profile. You see the neck. You see the side profile of a face, and then like the shrubberies, like the hair on fire. And you keep going along, and then there's some more faces in there, and you can see them in the shrubbery on the top. And you just follow the shrubs or down the line, and you start seeing faces. I see a lot of stuff in here. Towards the middle, I see stairs, like they look like an apparition, but like a stair, like stairs. And in one of those dark areas, you see a white spot, and I'll zoom in on that white spot in a little bit. You'll see what it looks like, a face, like it's coming out of the ground or something. Something coming out of the ground. Um, so just check it out. Pause the video so you guys can look at it. You'll start seeing stuff in there. And then this next this next slide is in black and white. It's a different filter. Again, look at on top of the shrubbery. Look at you see faces in there. You see a bunch of stuff in there. I see little statues. I see the stairs again. You clearly see like they look like stairs right in the middle of the island. Right there where that on the bridge, the middle column of the bridge, just follow it down. Follow it straight down, and then I see that look like stairs right underneath the shrubbery. It's a section that looks like stairs. So on this next slide here it is. This is what I'm talking about. See that column at the very top? Follow it down. and it looks like stairs right there. And then to your right, there's like a little statue or a little, looks like a little person or a little statue right there in the shrubbery. You see that? And then this next slide, let's see here. Here it is, zoomed in. That was that black spot. To me, there's a face right there with maybe a hand, like it's coming out of the ground. That looks like a face to me. I don't know, but this island, again, this island is, there's something going on with this island. I don't know if it's a portal. Of, you know, I have a feeling it might be a portal of some sort, but that's just me. That's my opinion. But I think there's something going on with this island. So I just wanted to share those pictures with you. This is again back in March of 2018 when we're just starting the channel. We're going out to this area, and we just started. And we remember we took 3 consecutive pictures of the island back to back, and only this one came out with all these faces and apparition, what looked like ghostly apparition. So just wanted to share those with you. And again, this is the area where I had my dogman encounter. The encounter happened over there on that side, that hill right there, that you're looking at right now. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Just recently, if you guys follow me on Facebook, on my Facebook page, I had posted my friend's video of what he had encountered, but that's a ways down. That's about 2 miles down the river. What he encountered, it could have been also a werewolf or dogman, he said. So he thinks he saw the same thing I saw. And that was a few weeks ago, but that's like 2 miles down the river here. So a lot of stuff's been going on. And then we just saw, this Sunday evening, we saw something. We're still trying to debunk it before I say what we think it was. That's why I'm out here taking measurements. And so yeah, in a little bit I'll tell you what we saw. Alright guys, so Sunday, like I said, it was me and Jesus. We were out here Sunday evening around 6:30. It was getting dark. I had my DeWalt spotlight, which is an awesome light. I mean, if you've seen it, it has 3 LEDs and it has a red night vision light also. But it lights it pretty good. It's a DeWalt flashlight. It has a battery pack. But anyways, I had that with me, and because it was getting dark, you know, I was panning the whole area with the spotlight, and just to see if we can get a reaction. Maybe something's in the shrubs in here, and something's hiding in here. So I was just panning through all the trees and the shrubbery, and I was panning across the river and into that island over there, and just listening, like I said, to see if we get a reaction or something move out of the light or something. And after about 15 minutes that we were here, I heard like a screech, like a, and I went with my light towards the island there, and that's when we saw coming out of the island there. I played it off as a crane, bluish grayish colored crane when I first saw it, and I told Jesus, "Well, check it out, Jesus," and I had the spotlight on it, so I was following it. And then and I was looking behind me because I was feeling like something was behind us too. So I had the light on it, and then Jesus says, "Hey, that's not, well, that's a pretty big bird." So when he said that, I looked back and I'm on it, and sure enough, I started observing it more, and it was going like this, like real slow, like it was lifting up, and it was just real slow, like going like this, and it was heading over the bridge. And I mean, I saw the long beak. It had a long beak. I saw the eye, and then it had I think they call it a crest here, and like not a big pointy one, but like a bump here, a smaller one. And then the wings, it had no feathers. There was no feathers. I didn't see a tail.
and I didn't see any legs on the back of it. And then the color of it was a bluish grayish color, and again no feathers, and it was it was flying this way, so it was like this towards us. So it was, have the eye facing us. It was going that way, but the belly was facing the opposite side of us. So I didn't see the underbelly. But again, I saw the whole wings. It almost resembled like a bat wing. And again, I didn't see a tail. I didn't see no feathers. I didn't see the legs. So we watched it as it went, real slow. It was doing this real slow. It went over the bridge, and I was observing the head. It looked kind of strange after Jesus said that. I thought it was a crane. I was trying to debunk it, make sure it wasn't a pelican. It has that long beak, but it didn't have that long underneath, that long pouch that it has, like a pelican has underneath the beak. It was just a long beak, and I saw the eye, and I saw, like I told you, like it had a bump, like in the back of its head. Not a pointing one, but like a bump. And it went over, and Jesus said it covered two of those sections on the bridge, the fence. So two sections of that. And that's why we were measuring to see how wide the posts are on those sections, and they're 6 foot 3 inches apart. Each post is 6 foot 3 inches apart. So that's why we're measuring. So, to me it wasn't a blue crane, which are out here, and it's not a heron. It wasn't a heron, and it wasn't a pelican. And we've seen those out here, and they're a similar color, but that wasn't it. It just looked very, very different after observing it again as it went over. I have an idea what it could have been, but I want to make sure before we end up saying what we think it is. But I want to get Jesus' opinion on the video. I want you to hear what he has to say, what he observed. So I want to get him on the video, and then we're going to say what we think it was, what we believe it was. And if it is what we think it is, other people have seen it here, and other people have seen them along the Kings River. Hey guys, Crypto559. So here we are back again, trying to get some more evidence. Look there's a crane right there. What we saw was not that. It was way bigger than that. Okay, there's a crane right there. It was way bigger than that. But the color was again was blue grayish. That's what I remember. It was a blue grayish color. But yeah, it was not like that. This was a big bird that flew out of that area. So I wanted to just show you the crane. I know there's blue herons. We've seen pelicans. It wasn't a pelican. I mean, I don't know what it was. I mean, I have an idea what it was. There it goes right there. Oh, there's a blue one right there. See that? There's a blue crane right there. Let me see if I can get it. Oh no, definitely it was way bigger than this. There's a blue one right there. The white one's on the other side of the river there. There's two of them. Oh yeah, definitely. They were definitely not cranes. There he goes right there. Yeah, and you can see the feathers on those. This thing did not have feathers, what we saw. It was huge compared to that. So I'm back here. I'm waiting for Alan from Squatch Zone. He's going to be joining me. Right now I'm by myself. I'm waiting for him to get here. We're going to be hanging out here, see if we can capture anything else. I'm by myself right now. It's a little eerie. It's getting dark. I
don't want to walk too much. Again, this is where I had my dogman encounter. It was just right here, you know. Here's the street. Here's the turnout. Here's my truck. It was just right here where I saw him. He ran all the way up there and up that. So, you know, I'm kind of hesitant to be out here by myself. There's the heron again. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. I just flew in there somewhere. I just wanted to get that on video for you guys. It's not that. I'm telling you, it's not that. It was definitely not that. That's way too small. Way too small. So again, I'm just waiting here. I'm just going to be hanging out here. See if we can capture anything. I'm glad those cranes came out. That just, you know, debunked. That just took that off the chart that it wasn't. You know, we saw what we saw, but it wasn't the cranes. And I'm glad we saw both, the white and the bluish grayish one. Those were definitely really, really small. And again, it came out of the island that's over there. There's an island. Came out of that. Heard a loud shriek noise. And then that's when I put the spotlight on it. There's a lot of mosquitoes. And that's when I told Jesus, you know, hey, check it out. And I had the light on it. But then I turned behind me because I felt like something was behind us. And Jesus was looking at it. He goes, dude, that's a big bird. And sure enough, when I looked back, when he said that, you know, it just hit me like, I'm looking at it again and I was taking video. I mean, I'm sorry. So I looked at it again and I started to check out the details on it, and sure enough, you know, it was a huge bird. It covered two sections of the railing there, two sections of the fence there. I gotta be careful. I'm out here on the road here. It's getting dark. And the wings were like, you know, it flapped its wings really slowly. Came out of that little island right there. Came out this way. And it flew over the bridge there. Jesus saw that the wingspan covered two sections. And we were here the other day. And measuring those sections on the bridge, and they're 6 feet 3 inches from post to post. So it covered two of those sections. So that's about 12 feet, little, almost close to 13 feet. 13 feet, guys. That was the wingspan, okay? So it was definitely a large bird. It was bulky, way bulkier than those cranes.
and the beak was a long, long beak, and I can see structure. You know, it was like a brownish beak. It had a brown beak, like a tannish color, and then it and around the eye, you can see almost see like a bone structure around the eye, like circling the eye. It was like a protruding bone, and then it had like a little ball on the head, like sticking out. Not a pointy not pointy like the pterodactyls, but this one was round on the top, and the wings were like bat wings, but leathery. It looked leathery, but it was a bluish grayish color. And I can tell you, it, it it did it real slow as it was, it was not doing this. You know how like the birds, they flap their wings pretty fast. This one was just slowly, you know, and then until it flew over the bridge there and went that way. This is about the time we saw it, so we'll see what we can capture here. Again, I heard a loud shriek just before we saw it, so let's see if we can hear that shriek again. If it's out here, if it's hiding in these shrubs here. So it was louder than the river. So you can hear the river right now. So it was louder than that. Before it made that shrieking sound, and then it took off. Man, I'm just a little nervous. I'm by myself, so, and I already told you guys why. It's getting dark. I don't like being out here by myself, especially what I've seen out here. I don't care if you call me chicken. If you've seen what I've seen, unexperienced, you would understand. Just want to keep recording just in case something pops out, because it never fails. When I stop recording, something happens.
Okay, guys. So this next, I'm gonna keep the video going, but I'm gonna silence the audio of the video, and I'm gonna have Jesus explain what he witnessed that Sunday evening, which was Sunday the 11th of 2020, of October 11th of 2020, which was a Sunday evening. But when we went out there and we witnessed this creature, and on Tuesday the 20th of October, me and my cousin went out there and we measured. And then on Wednesday, the 21st, on the evening of Wednesday, the 21st, I went out there by myself and I was waiting for Alan from Squatch Zone. He was going to meet up with me that evening. So he ended up showing up and we stayed there for about 3 hours out there till about 9 o'clock in the evening to see if we can capture anything. He took his flare camera and we were just, observing and listening. But we didn't hear anything. We didn't see anything. Um, So we didn't capture anything on video, but I'm gonna have, Jesus is gonna be talking about what he observed that Sunday evening when we went out there and what he saw. Okay, Cryptid 559. So we're here with Jesus. So I want Jesus to tell you what we saw Sunday evening. I wanted to get his description of everything that he saw, the way he saw it. I already talked about the way I saw it. So go ahead, Jesus. Let us know how we went up there Sunday evening, and then let me know your what did you see? What did you see?
So that Sunday evening, we went up to the spot where we like to do our investigations, and that evening, we just took a spotlight. We wanted to follow up on some tracks and what's causing those disturbances in that general area. So we get there. We're testing out the flashlight, the floodlight, and Javier is aiming the flashlight down towards the river. And it hadn't been more than 15-20 minutes that we got there, and we see, or we notice, this bird fly in front of us, and it's going towards the Pine Flat Dam area. Javier was able to beam the spotlight at it, and at this point, it's still not dark. We're able to see it, but he follows it with the floodlight, and we notice that that's not a typical bird from the area because it was huge. I recall witnessing a bluish gray bird with a brown beak. I was able to gauge its size by taking the wingspan and comparing it to the bridge so that later we could go back and measure to get a good sense of how big this bird was. At first, we couldn't believe what we were seeing. You know, we compared it to what we know is common in our area, and it couldn't be. I know we did a lot of research on cranes, uh, different types of birds that are common in that Avocado Lake area, but nothing came close. So the only thing that comes close to that type of bird that we witnessed that evening was a pterodactyl. And I mean, I'm not saying that it is, but it's very, very similar. Um, we looked through a ton of photos trying to
Debunk
pick,
it. We're trying to debunk it.
yeah, pick the right one that describes what we saw, and we both ended up um, choosing the pterodactyl. Why? Because I was able to pick up on some key features of the bird, which again, it was the blueness, the blueness of the bird, the way it flapped its wings. The beak was totally different.
Okay, on
Uh,
the beak, how long do you think it was?
about
Estimate.
half the wingspan,
So, okay, I went out there to measure those sections on the bridge. So it was 6 feet 3 inches each section.
and it was two sections.
It covered two sections as it
Yes.
went over the bridge.
Yeah.
So that's close to 13 feet.
Okay.
the wingspan is almost 13 feet. And you're saying it's half of the wingspan, the beak?
Yeah, about half the wingspan.
So that's about almost
About six
so about
six
six,
6 to 4 feet.
4 feet
Yeah, six
long,
yeah,
from 4 to 6 feet long. That was the beak.
yeah. And it did make a different uh sound in regards to the way it flapped its wings.
Okay.
That was very, very distinct. I mean, I think in the shock of the moment, we didn't. I don't recall seeing where it went or what.
If I
What.
remember it flying over the bridge,
That's what I
and then
remember too.
that was it. And it stayed low. It didn't go high,
Yeah.
and it stayed low, and the trees covered, so we couldn't see it anymore.
No, I don't. I don't. I can't remember. What direction it went or
All I
anything.
know, it went over the bridge, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's all that was it.
And I think we wanted to figure out where it came from, where it had taken off. But I mean, it was very hard.
Well, I saw it coming out of the island because I don't know if you heard the loud shriek it did. It made a loud shriek, and I don't know if you heard it.
No, I don't recall.
Okay, that's what caught my attention. I heard that loud shriek, and that's when I pointed the light at it. But I was seeing it come out of that little island,
and
I thought it was a crane.
Yeah, and that's when I started following it. When you focused
Yeah,
the
because I
light
told
on
you,
it,
hey,
yeah.
Jesus, check this out, and I had the light on it. But at that time, you were looking at it, and I turned around because I thought something was behind us. I felt like something was behind us. But then that's when you told me, hey, dude, this is a big bird. But when it came out of that island, I didn't see how it came out. Like if it was hopping. Did you?
No, I don't recall. No.
How did it walk? Do you remember how it walked?
No,
or anything?
The first time that I noticed it, I think you had already like beamed the light at it, and I was following it.
Okay. But it didn't walk, or
no, I don't
it
recall.
Spread out its wings.
Yeah, I remember it spreading its wings out and
okay.
having a different type of flap. I know birds typically keep their wings rect, and they swing them up and down. This one seemed to curve its wings, but I mean it was a different type of flapping than we see in our typical birds here.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too.
Yeah, and I don't recall seeing any feathers.
Yeah,
it was very leathery, kind like skin.
Yeah, the texture.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I remember. More like a bat.
Yeah, more like a bat.
Yeah.
More, that's like a very big bat.
Yeah. And do you remember seeing legs or a tail?
No, I don't. I don't remember seeing that. The following day, or that same day when we came back home, I drew a picture of what I seen because it was still fresh in my mind.
Right.
And even right now,
as
it's a week.
Yeah.
After we witnessed that bird, I mean, I could still remember. I could still remember it very, very thoroughly, but I don't recall seeing the legs.
See, I don't recall seeing the legs either, or a tail.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the tail, but again, it was like a blue, gray color with like a brown beak.
You weren't able to see the underbelly either, right?
No, I wasn't.
Because it was facing the opposite direction of us, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was again, it was with very minimal effort. I mean, it was flying. Okay. It was very different.
When it was with its wings, very slowly or quick?
No,
flapping its wings.
Very slow, very
slowly, right?
Yeah, very calm. It almost looked like very calm, and it wasn't like afraid of us or afraid. Actually, you know what I noticed too that day? There wasn't a lot of people out there.
No, it wasn't.
There was no fishermen. I mean, I don't recall seeing any fishermen.
It wasn't really busy out there. It was not. And then when we got there, like the area, as soon as we got off the van, my hair stood up like.
Yes, we had like the EBGBs.
Already, as soon as we got off the van, I can feel it, and you felt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't a lot of, for Sunday. Usually it's busy, and it
Yeah.
wasn't really
A lot
busy
of people
that
out there
evening.
fishing.
Yeah, and there wasn't hardly anybody that evening. Very little traffic,
Yeah.
which was odd for a weekend.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I remember. And the head. Do you remember seeing the head?
It was the only thing I remember about the head, that it was kind of like a rectangle. It was brown and it was long. It,
Okay, on the top of the head. Do you remember seeing anything?
no, but it was not like our typical
Okay.
native bird to say that, you know what, it was this type of bird. It was very different.
Yeah, I
Very,
remember
very
seeing the
different.
ball, and I could clearly see the eye, and there was like bone structure around the eye, like a big old, like something around the eye, like a bone structure coming
Like
out.
like a contour.
Yeah, and then they went to the beak. But then, I saw like a little. It wasn't pointing like a pterodactyl, like the
Mhm.
big old pointy thing sticking out. No, this one was like a ball, like a little ball on the top. Definitely had something on the head. I just wanted to see if you remember anything on the head, because I remember paying close attention to that part.
Yeah.
I did skim over the wings real quick, but then I wanted to pay attention to because I saw the long
Yeah.
beak. I saw the long beak and then the eye and that
And you
structure.
see, like me immediately, like in my head, I wanted to gauge the size of it because it was huge. I
Yeah, that's
mean,
what you told me.
compared
Yeah.
to what we've seen out here in that area, I mean, it was small. That's why, when you told me that you and your cousin were gonna go out there and take measurements, I told you, hey, use
Mm-hmm.
these two sections to measure the wingspan, because that's how long it was at this distance. And you and your cousin were able to go and get those measurements, and I mean, it corresponds to, what I estimated
Yep.
was the length, about 12 to 15 feet, and we're in that ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the research that we've done so far, I mean,
And that's not far fetched to say that it could have been a pterodactyl because
there's been
yeah,
sightings.
last year there was 4 sightings along the Kings River. There was one up by the same area where we were at.
Hmm.
There was one last year, and the rest of them were on the Kings River here along the Kings River. So it's not far fetched. People are seeing these
Yeah. Yeah.
pterodactyls. They look like pterodactyls.
Yeah, and I mean, we've gone out to try and see if we come across one, and we've never been successful. But this time we came across a bird-like
And it's yeah,
creature that resembles that
exactly.
pterodactyl that people have been seeing here. And
And it wasn't a thunderbird because I didn't see feathers. You said you didn't see
I didn't see
feathers.
feathers. No.
Thunderbirds have feathers. They're big and they have feathers. You would have seen the feathers.
And in the past, when we've gone out to look for this pterodactyl, we come across those cranes, and they're just way too small compared to what we saw. They're very skinny. This thing
Yeah.
was large.
See, when it was coming out of the island, I just saw. I didn't see the beak. I
Yeah.
just saw it was a bird, and
Hmm.
it resembled the crane real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't see the wings. I just saw it coming out of the island, and that's when I told you, "Hey, dude, check out this bird." And I think I told you, it's just a crane." But then you said, "Dude."
No, I think I said, check out the size.
Yeah,
There's
something
no
like that.
way.
Yeah. And I go, what? And that's when I turned around, and that's when I like, oh snap! Yeah, it is a huge bird. So then that day we went to measure, me and my cousin. I actually was able to get the white crane and the bluish grayish crane on video, and it was definitely not that. It was these things were dwarf compared to what we saw.
And you see, when we've gone out to this general area where we like to investigate, we've come across um, prints that we can't
Exactly.
describe
Yeah. Uh-huh.
what they are or what created them. Why? Because, I mean, it doesn't fit with the birds that we have here in our area. So now witnessing this bird, this could be a new bird in 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 this area that has that type of, footprint.
That three-toed.
Yeah, that three toed.
Yeah.
because it's
it could be.
very
Yeah,
it's very strange.
and we found it again along the Kings River. So yeah, it's a
And
possibility.
we've had a good buddy of ours, witness this
Yeah.
bird in the past. And
Yep.
again, unfortunately, like us, they weren't able to get like a photo or a
Yeah.
video of it. But again, we weren't expecting it. We had just gotten there.
Yeah. Exactly. We had just gotten there, um, and I wasn't recording. I was just getting the feel for the area, and
Yeah,
and that's what I was getting. Is like, dude, something's going on here because it didn't feel right.
no,
And then all of a sudden, about 10 minutes later, that's when I heard the screech. And we weren't recording, unfortunately. Of course, it happens when we're not recording. But yeah, exactly. It's like I don't, you know, and it's where I saw my dogman encounter. Where I had my dogman encounter. It's close to Avocado Lake. It's this whole area again. It's off the charts.
yeah, and
It's
and recently there's been, people witnessing this dogman creature
mm-hmm. Yep.
in that again,
In those last few weeks,
yeah, in that general
in
area.
that same area. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get Jesus's description of what he saw of this bird. Um, it's close. It resembles a pterodactyl. And guys, there's a um, paper clippings from the Los Angeles. I can't remember this Los Angeles newspaper back in the late 1800s, and it talks about flying dragons in our area. People are hunting flying dragons or birds that have that resemble alligator head, and it's paper clippings from the Los Angeles newspaper, and it's from the late 1800s. You guys can go look them up; you'll find them. But there's a YouTube channel. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post the name of it. There's a YouTube channel. I want you guys to go check it out. All he does is investigate pterodactyl sightings, and our area is a hotspot. Okay, our area is a hotspot for pterodactyls, and they've been seeing these type of birds since the late 1800s. So there's history there. Okay, so check it out. Yeah, I want to say we saw something. We had another encounter. This is crazy, but
I think it's plausible.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
plausible.
I think we did see a pterodactyl or something close to a pterodactyl, similar to a pterodactyl.
Yeah,
And it was no turkey vulture. It didn't have feathers, so that's out the
yeah. That's I think that's the most interesting feature that we both noticed, that it didn't have any feathers. That it was just like a leather skin.
yeah, it was similar to a bat, but the bat doesn't have a beak. So
Yeah,
this
no,
thing had a
and this
long
thing had a
beak.
long beak.
It had a different type of head, on it. And again, I didn't see a tail. I didn't see legs.
No, me neither.
Again, the underbelly was facing opposite of us, so we didn't see the underbelly.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we pretty much got the tail end of it.
yeah,
I mean, the side profile, it
right.
flew right in front of us, um, and then it just gave its back to us. And that's one odd thing that you bring up, and I brought up, is that we don't recall what direction it ended up taking. We remember seeing it,
Yeah,
go up above the bridge, but
it didn't go high. I don't remember seeing it high
no,
in the
I don't
air.
remember it
I
going
think it
high.
just followed the river back to the dam. I stayed low, is what I'm trying to say, because I didn't see it come up over the trees or anything
Yeah,
after that. So I don't know, but it went in the direction of the Pine Flat Dam,
yeah, yeah, that's
and I didn't hear any more screeches, like any more like a screech sound. I didn't hear anything
I think that night we were following some strange, uh, like
like a grunting.
like a whistle, screeching. It
Oh,
was very different. Remember, we kept on hearing it from
yeah,
both
because I felt
sides.
something was behind us too, so I was like on edge
Yeah,
already. As soon as we got there, I was already on edge, and then this happened, and then I felt something behind us. It's like something was there. So I think we started just hanging out there, and that's when
yeah,
we started recording. But after the fact, after the
yeah.
bird had gone, it never came back. I never saw it again. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, there's a possibility that there could be more out there.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Um, Anything else you wanted to add? Anything else you remember? Or that was strange? I remember it going like taking like three, like when it was taking off, like really slow, like three times, and then it was over the
Yeah, I
bridge,
think you know what. It's. I'm
like three
glad you bring that.
flaps,
Yeah,
or what? How do you call
because
it?
I recall seeing about three flaps as well.
And then it was over the bridge.
Yeah, it was over the bridge, and well, when it raised its wings up, that's when I was able to notice that, it didn't have feathers, that it was like leathery skin.
Yeah, exactly. See, and I don't know if it was a bluish grayish color. I don't know if it was the LED from my spotlight reflecting off the skin. I don't know if it was that because the LEDs have that color.
Yeah, like
But I
that
don't
white.
know. Yeah, but I don't know. It could have been like a brownish tannish color, like a leathery type color, the
Mm-hmm.
bird. But again, I don't know if it was reflecting the light. Maybe that's why it looked
True.
kind of bluish grayish.
I mean, yeah. I
But I
mean,
know it didn't have feathers.
yeah. I don't recall seeing
There
feathers.
was no
That's
feathers.
one key thing that I mean just caused us to keep our eyes on it, is that it was extremely huge. It had no feathers, and it had a large beak.
Heck yeah, I saw the beak,
Um,
and I remember the head clearly. I saw the long beak, and again I could see the eye, and then I see like a bone structure around the eye, like an outline of the. It's like the bone structure or something around the eye, and then that bump on the head, that coming out of the head.
do you recall seeing like um, teeth
I
on the
don't
beak?
remember seeing the teeth.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
remember seeing like scratches on the beak.
Scratches.
Like yeah, like it had scratches alongside the beak.
There's a lot of rock in that area.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's
Well, if it was fishing, there's a lot of rock in that river.
yeah,
So if it's fishing for fish, trying to get some fish, I can see the scratches coming from the rock
yeah.
or something like that. But I remember like scratches on the beak, like on the side of the beak. I can see them.
Well, we have come across a lot of strange structures. Do you think maybe those structures that we're seeing are nest that this particular bird is making? But again, those structures that we come across, they're huge, and they have some very big logs.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, again, I don't know, but I mean, it's a possibility. It's a theory. I mean, again, this is why we
Yeah,
go out there, so we investigate these cryptids or what's causing these structures to be made, and who's using them for what. Again, I mean, I think it's fair to say that it's not people, because or homeless people, because there's no trash. They're very intricate, and in these places where these structures are being made, I mean, rarely, very rarely do you see people going up there and doing that. And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't necessarily just be one person. It'll be a couple of people
yeah,
uh, that need that would be needed to make those structures.
yeah.
And again, if it's two, we're gonna have to see trash, and there's no trash.
No,
There's no
yeah,
disturbance. It's very strange.
exactly. So I don't know. Well, thanks.
No, well,
Nothing
thank
else you
you.
want to add? Nothing? You're good?
No, I think we're good.
Alrighty. Well,
We're
thanks.
just we're just ready for the next adventure.
Yes, sir. So, guys, go check out the YouTube channel Protect Animal Life on on YouTube. Go check out their channel, and they research pterodactyl sightings or pterosaur sightings, and they research they investigate sightings or encounters from all over the country and all over the world. And he has articles from California, sightings from California, and there's some articles from our area that talk about our area. So go check that out. Go check the YouTube channel, Protect Animal Life, and you'll see a picture of the pterodactyl. Go check it out.